Hi Karen, happy birthday. For your birthday I'm going to show you how to stretch a canvas since I can't be there in person to show you. So these are some of the things that you need for putting your stretch canvas together. And I have two kinds of canvas for you to look at. This one is canvas and it's thick and it's tough and it'll probably last longer, but it's more expensive. This is muslin and it's a lot cheaper. I think it'll probably last anyways long because it's you can prime it and then it'll stay good. So I'll do the demonstration though with canvas today. And these are stretcher bars, and these are the thin stretcher bars, so I wouldn't get these kind of stretcher bars if you're going to do a big painting. I would get the thicker ones, but those are more expensive too. These ones are, this is a 22 inch, it's a thin one, and a 14, so I'm going to make a 22 inch by 14 canvas, and then I'm going to give it to Guy because he's being very nice at home. And now it's on film, so it's recorded for our history. Other things that you need here, a staple gun, and I'm using half-inch staples. These kind are probably too big for this, and you'll have to go around after you staple and you'll have to pound them in with a hammer. And you might have to get a bigger hammer than the one you have.
Are they stainless steel?
You got to get stainless steel,
because
otherwise
over the years
they will rust and then affect the back of your painting. Okay. A screwdriver in case you need to screw something. A scissors in case you need to cut something. I don't think you really need these. And this thing is a Frederick's canvas puller. So you grab the canvas in here and then you use this thing and you lock it really tight. So we probably won't use this either, but I want you to notice that these are the same company. And it's not even necessary to use the same company. Oh, and then something like this for a right angle. So when we put our frame together, we get a right angle. So now I'm going to put the canvas bars together. Now these kinds you can see, it's pretty obvious. One side goes in this way, and you push that together there, and put your other ones together. If you just get regular wood off the street and you find somebody that can do miter cuts, the only thing you need is to put a little edge like this that's raised up on the edge here. So again, so the canvas goes from this lip to this lip and doesn't get caught on this edge when you're trying to paint over here. I could tell you about that more in detail if you want later. You can ask me questions. So then then this goes all together, and then you need your hammer.
Or a rubber mallet is a
rubber mallet is even better
because you don't damage the wood.
Because you don't damage the wood.
There's an echo here, Karen.
There's an echo here, Karen. Okay. So then you make sure it's square, and it's not quite square, so then you have to tap it to get it, or tweak it or something till you get it square. And the other thing you can do is, Guy says you could put little metal things here.
Screw them in
so it keeps them
after you squared it.
Yeah, and also you can square it up again later too after you put this all together. And so details like this, yeah, that's fine because it's all going to be hidden in the canvas. Okay, so
what a picture!
So here's your squared canvas. Oh, the other thing you can do is put glue in there when you're putting them together. Okay, so here's your canvas.
I wouldn't use glue because if you want to take it apart someday.
Well, you Yeah, you could do it. But yeah, that's probably not right. Anyway, so I got a big piece of canvas here. I don't need the whole thing. So how do you cut the canvas to the right size that you need? Well, you got to have enough canvas on all the sides to come around, and you can just either grab it by hand and tighten it, or that's what this thing is for. You have enough here that you can grab it. You latch this thing onto the edge of the stretcher bar, and then you can pull it and tighten it at the same time.
That's after it's been...
Well, yeah, but so you need enough material
left
to
hanging
be able
over.
to grab it and pull it.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of canvas. Let's say I'm going to give it, because you probably don't have this tool and you don't want to go buy it, and you don't need it. You can just pull it by hand. So you want to have enough. So that looks like about 3 inches and 3 inches. So we'll cut this.
It's very exact here, Karen.
And the same thing on the other sides, right? 3 and 3. And if you ever could find them, these are great scissors. These are titanium coated, and they cut through everything. So
chicken bones?
Chicken bones, pea soup.
Boneless chicken?
Yeah, boneless chicken. So here's your canvas and your thing laid out, right, ready to stretch it. Now this is the important part about stretching the canvas, because you don't want wrinkles in it. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a few wrinkles in there. We're going to get rid of that stuff. So here's how you do this. You start from the middle of one side and you staple it. Then you go directly across to the middle of the other side and you pull that tight, and then you see you get this little crease in there, but you're going to get rid of that later. So
tightly.
Pull that tight.
Lee.
Her name is Karin. So you pull that nice and tight, and you can just do that with your hand, your finger there, and booyah! Okay? And then now you're on your way. Now the next part is you go perpendicular now, and you go to the middle of the next side, right? So now you pull that tight, but in this case don't pull it so tight that you're going to pull this, right? Just in this first one you just want to get the wrinkle out. Okay, so now you do that, staple, and then you go across all the way to the other side. Now you can pull it tight, because
now it means something.
You have something to pull against.
And it's important.
And it's important.
That's your first real tight thing, really.
Alright, and then boom! Okay, and I'm going to keep going, but see, now we've got something going. You see it's got some wrinkles on it. Okay, so now the next step, you go back to where you started, and you're going to go one to the left, one to the right, and then you're going to do that across. So we're going to go now, and you want to pull it away from the center and down. So I'm pulling it this way and down, right? And I'm just trying to get out all those wrinkles in there. And here's the tricky part. Now from here you go across to here, and you're going the opposite side of this, and you're pulling it.
And you don't need the pliers, really.
Yeah, you don't need. This is going to be fine. And plus, once you prime it, the canvas just soaks it up, right, and stretches itself.
Pliers are for sissies.
So now you can go either to here or to here. So since we're here, we're pulling it again away from that and tight, and then staple, and then coming over here and going across like this and staple. Okay, now we go back to here and we start doing the same thing on this side now. So even if you have a square canvas, because this is kind of rectangular, this is the way you do it. So then you go from here. Now we're going to go over to here. Now I'm putting these kind of far apart, but I'm going to go back and put some in between.
No, you don't need. That's too much.
As I do it. That's what I do. So now I'm putting these ones a little closer together because I don't have as much room and I want to get the wrinkles out. So again, I'm pulling it tight and pulling it away from the center. Staple. Coming across here, pulling it tight from the center and away. Staple. And then coming back to here, going to the other side. Staple. Coming back to here, pulling this tight. And staple. And you can see already that it looks about the same. So,
Oh, it looks tight in the middle.
it's getting definitely, you can feel how tight it is. It's loose here, but we haven't done staple. So, this is good canvas, guy. You're gonna get a nice one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through and pull the rest of these up and into place. Now it's kind of like once you've got that going, now you can kind of move around. It's not so critical to go in any order.
It's nice to have somebody help you hold it a little, if you can. I really recommend you don't put any more staples in between those, Roger. Trust me.
Well, I'm going to put a few more because once you saturate this thing, it pulls it tight. I've seen them pull them right out of the...
Well, okay. Yeah. I use copper tack.
So Karen, you have to you think for yourself on this after
Think
a while.
for yourself, cause I
Don't take my word for this.
be there
Definitely
with you.
don't take guys' word for this.
Okay, new cameraman. Who wants to be cameraman?
Alright. We don't have to film the whole thing here now. I think I could just...
Well, I think we should.
But I want to show her the corners.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to cut it and then
Yeah,
you
we
do
can
the
cut it.
corner?
I'm going to cut it and then I'll just come back and I'll show you the corners.
Smile.
Bye! So I want to clean up the corners of this, and I want to show you something with the staples. See, they're not completely in there all the way. And while you paint it, that's okay. And that's where the screwdriver is for, because if you want to ever take this canvas off of your stretcher bar, like to mail it home to me or to somebody else, you can take the canvas off, take the staples out, and then you can roll the canvas up, and you can talk about that later. But if you just want to do this, then you can go around and just tap them all down. So that'll be good. Now the next thing I want to show you is that now to do these corners, you got to decide whether or not your canvas is going to be like this or like this. Why? I'll tell you. Because you're going to fold. So if your canvas is the vertical like this, right, you want to have this edge kind of clean. So when you do your corners, you want to fold it up this way. If you're going to have it horizontal, then you want to have this side clean. And that's because you're not going to frame these right away probably. So then you can fold it up this way. So what's the way do you want to use it, Guy? Is it your painting?
Well, that way probably.
Okay, so we're going to do a horizontal painting. So the next step is, before we get to the corners, I'm just going to trim some of this excess material off.
No, not that red. It's a joke, Karen. It's an old mural joke. The
So
guy-
I'm just trying to trim it to like just beyond the edge of this, and maybe later on you can trim it more
Is that like the Twilight Zone, beyond the edge?
beyond the edge.
An artist works in the studio behind his house. Little does he know, he stepped into the Twilight Zone.
One more. Okay. So
That was beautiful though.
So there, it's ready for the corners now. And the corners, see, I didn't put staples all the way to the corners yet. So now, and let's look at the front again, because it looks pretty good, right? It's pretty clean. And plus, once you, if it's not, it should be pretty good. These wrinkles, I think, are in the can. When you prime this, these wrinkles will stretch out or shrink up, or what is it?
Shrink.
Okay, so it's horizontal, horizontal painting. So we're going to do the corners on the top. So we're going to fold it so that the edge comes over the top like that. And this is a nice little detail there, so it's not really messy at all. Behind it, who cares? And then you fold it, you push this all down, and then you staple through all of that. And that's your corner. So you got one there.
Do another.
One there. Okay. Same. Now this is the same size. And also you got to try to pull it out just if you can to get those wrinkles. Fold it, pinch it, turn it over the edge like a hospital corner. And if you can do it even like that, that's even better, right? So that it's not.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what you did with that other one, but this one's beautiful.
This one's better. Here's your back of your canvas now. It's all stretched and tapped down, but the staples are out. This could be a problem if you go to hang it. So, scratching somebody's wall. So, I just go through now at the end. Tap them all down. I think, yeah.
Ow!
Is it hot?
Don't forget the ow!
There's one, so you can look.
Hi, Karen. Oops. I'm sorry, I had the camera on me.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
right, I'm right
so
here.
that's your
This.
the back of your stretcher bar.
Yep.
And then your front is nice and clean now, nice and smooth and straight. And I can prime it from here to show you, but you could figure that out. And then once you prime it, you let it dry, and it soaks it all up and stretches it. So the only other thing that you need to do is to get it ready for hanging, and I'll save that for your next birthday.
Okay, may I say something? Gessoing?
Yeah, you want me to?
No, just on gessoing.
You want me to hold the camera?
No, your first layer of gesso.
Oh yeah, I should talk about gesso. Let's do it.
What we're talking about. It doesn't hurt the gesso the back, but the first layer should be kind of watery gesso.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you want it to really soak into the
so
canvas.
You can water down your gesso a little
Water down. Even the second one can be a little watery.
And then you get this really fine sandpaper. That's important. Yeah, because you want to put a couple coats of gesso.
Well, even more.
One.
You could put on 4 or 5 coats.
You could put, yeah.
The more the better, but you know.
And what it'll do, it depends on you, because how much texture you like. The more gesso and the more sanding, you get a smoother surface to paint on.
And you don't get the little threads.
If you like the canvas texture, like some people do, and it makes it more...
Van Gogh painted on burlap.
Yeah. So, you know,
but what did he
it's
know?
up to you. But
what did Van Gogh know?
When you're painting and you sand it down first, you will be surprised at how much more your brush will slide. It makes a big difference as far as the time you spend painting, and it's easier. Your brush is less friction, so it's smoother. So, happy birthday. Bye, Les. I'll see you, well, we'll talk. Okay. Thanks for the camera.
Happy birthday.
And Leslie says happy birthday. And
Happy birthday.
so okay, one more thing. So
how old is Karen?
cut that. 25.
25. Youngster. You shouldn't gesso the back.
Don't gesso the back.
Don't gesso the back. Because a lot of people say it should be air should, just leave the back alone.
Leave the back alone.
You could always gesso the wood though, the stretchers, because the wood can hurt the canvas, theoretically. And I've gessoed my stretchers. Okay, here's our D.
The only thing I would say about the things that Guy says is that he reads this book.
It's called the Artist Handbook.
The Artist Handbook.
It's a thick book.
He actually kind of knows a few things about this.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. So okay. So then the last important part about your canvas is then you gesso it several coats, and then you can sand in between. And then it's really important that you make your message loud and clear.
That's not how you spell happy.
Happy.
Happy day. Happy bees. Happy bedroom. Happy bee day.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, is that it? Adios, amiga. Come back to LA sometime. We'll smoke the hookah.